I'm the second speaker of the opposition side. Before furthering on my first speaker case, allows me to do 2 main points of contention with the first speaker of the opposition team. Firstly, the opposition actually came up and talked to us about a whole big chunk of integration, about we must integrate the people into the society, and integration takes time, takes about over maybe a period of 100 of years, etc., as brought about by them. But ladies and gentlemen, they are being here very so-called one-sided, ladies and gentlemen. Because firstly, as they mentioned, hundreds of years. So are you actually going to forsake the rights of the black people in France for hundreds of years? You imagine how much suffering they have to go through, how much pain they have to go through, how much discrimination, how much racism they have to experience. And moreover, ladies and gentlemen, to actually combat that point, I would like to bring an example of Sri Lanka, ladies and gentlemen, the conflict between the Sinhalese and the Tamils, ladies and gentlemen. The conflict has actually been going on for maybe more than 100 years already. It has dated back to ever since maybe World War I, around that period there. And we see that even the current measures of the Sinhalese government implementing new policies of integration in the capital city of Colombo isn't working in the first place, because we still do see the racial clashes with the Tamil Tigers and the Sinhalese police force itself. What it took to actually stop this kind of racial tension was actually to kill the Tamil Tigers leaders and the entire family. Is this what we want, ladies and gentlemen, in the future? Just because of racism? Because we can see that there are many clear examples in the world today of how racism escalates into racial riots, which can lead into racial war, ladies and gentlemen. Moreover, the second point of contention as I have with the first leader of opposition is that the point she brought on about segregation, ladies and gentlemen. She said that segregation actually increases racism in society, ladies and gentlemen. But I would like to ask them a question then. Firstly, you see that integration nowadays in society is not working. We can see in like the example I've given you, and therefore we don't believe that that integration is will solve the problem, as what my first speaker has already mentioned. We believe that Ghettoism will actually bring about a better and a more radical approach and solution for these people experiencing racism, which I'll be explaining to you about in 3 levels, ladies and gentlemen. Firstly, on the psychology, is to prevent any further outbreaks of violence, and thirdly, on the economical level of themselves. Okay, onto my first level of the psychology area of the people. Firstly, ladies and gentlemen, when the people gather together, of being the common race and the common color, they would naturally feel safer than being like, okay, black, white. You feel naturally safer. It somehow acts like a safety net over these people. As because these people are being mixed around the same race, and they know that they cannot be bullied. Yes, ma'am.
You think that is a false safety net, because basically at the bottom line, everyone is basically equal and everyone is the same.
You see that everybody is the same, but then can you explain to us the racism that is happening in France now, ma'am? Okay, now moving on to okay, it's a somehow safety net because they know that they cannot be bullied. Moreover, moving on to my second level, which because of the psychology point, they will violence because they know that they will not be bullied. Therefore, they do not need to resort to violence to actually voice out their opinions. They can resort to peaceful ways in which they feel at a disadvantage. They can resort to maybe peaceful protesting, etc. And then with this, actually, onto the third point in which I will reach of the economic progress. As a group of people of the same race and the same color come together, they would then be able to work together as a whole community to actually bring greater good for their community itself, be it in terms of money, trade, jobs, etc. This will help this community then to be able to progress further, and then be able to have the resources and to actually fight for their rights, to gain better recognition. And therefore, we believe that since racism is a problem, and the means that the opposition has proposed in terms of integration hasn't worked, we believe that we must resort to ghettoism.